Hey everyone, Arthur Fantastic here, and I'm going to do a quick video, not so much a reaction to a video myself or a breakdown of a video myself, but I'm actually going to be encouraging everyone here to take a look at Red Channel's video, which I'll link in the description, as well as I'll put in a card here at the top, which I actually don't really do with most of my videos, but I'm going to take the time to do for this one. He did a breakdown of Pearl versus Tom Horn of Council of Trent, or Trent Horn, I'm sorry, Trent Horn, who is the channel on YouTube here as Council of Trent. Pints with Aquinas was also, I believe, the not the referee, I forget the name, not the arbiter, doesn't matter, the person that was going to be sitting in between there as the official between both of them to make sure that things would go correctly in terms of how the debate was structured. Needless to say, the whole video pretty much definitively breaks down, a really big shout out to Red Channels, better than I could, I think, how Pearl's calling out, as it says, confronts Trent, you know what I mean? I think is like something like that. Tradcon versus Redpill. Really, that debate, that contrast of people really points out how out of touch these so-called Tradcons are. And I've been saying for a while that people should watch Pearl's content on the matter of Red Pill, on the matter of Tradcon women, because not only did Kevin Samuels, for instance, like, by bringing the truth, pull the demons out of people, and they had to tell on themselves and come out of the woodwork to attack them. The women that would like claim, oh, we're for women, we're Christian women, we are trying to get women married, and these would be the very women that would shame, insult, guilt, and in their exchanges need to be right despite being wrong, like definitively, like verifiably. So they would then attack him from all these different angles, you know what I mean? Call him homosexual, which they're doing to Pearl, call him a pedophile, which they do to Pearl, because they say that men like younger women. Duh. How does that make you a pedophile? That's because women need to shame. Women need to are all almost entirely in the West under the spell of feminism. And even the Tradcon men, because as I've said on this channel, when we've talked about Michael J. Knowles and cuctianity, and we've talked on this subject ad nauseum on this channel, especially on my Bitchute, where I have less censorship, where I'm fucking already flying off the handle here on YouTube. This next couple of videos, I'm worried about whether or not that's going to cause a problem with the censors here on YouTube. And if there is, I'm just going to upload it to Bitchute, what it is. And everything has been backed up on there as well. But I want to take my time. I like this platform that I'm able to reach people and, you know, talk about stuff that no one else wants to talk about because they're scared of, they're afraid of the same persecution that Pearl and Samuels are getting. Okay, it's all this PC mob, it's all this feminist mob, and even within the Tradcons, as I've been saying for weeks now, every week, especially on First Day Biblical Discussion, my weekly live stream, which falls on the first biblical day, which is of the week, which is sunset Saturday to sunset Sunday. And it is beyond a shadow of a doubt. I've also shared videos and will continue to share videos of this particular topic on Bitchute. So once again, I want to funnel you to my Bitchute, link in the description, as well as a link to the video that I'm discussing, which is a breakdown of another video, and I would rather you watch that than watch the original because you are going to waste your time otherwise. Pearl does the same thing that she does all the time. It's worth watching her material to get a better understanding, and he shows I feel like the most relevant, most entertaining clips, and breaks it down absolutely, once again, masterfully, probably better than I could have, the way that he approached it. I mean, I could approach it in a different angle, maybe do it good in that way, but in the way that he's done it, better than I could have. And I'm going to link that in this video. Some of the points that we see connecting this back to the feminism, there was a video where feminism is thriving, the Christian church, and it's like other creators, and I'm also uploading soon another video about Kevin Samuels, a 3-hour live that he did. It's available on his channel, and I'll link that in the Bitchute video, and maybe I'll even link it here in this video because it's just worth watching, talking about the Christian feminist and women in the church being these feminists. They're undercover feminists, and we're finding this out more and more often, that the women that are claiming, especially in the red pill sphere, that they are some type of submissive traditional women, are actually just feminists in disguise. So going to the topic at hand, the video that we're discussing, and shrinking our scope, because I'm talking about a lot of things I'm talking about on the channel. I just want to highlight some things that I thought were really succinct and poignant points. Is that assonance or is that consonance? Alliteration? The poignant points, the succinct points that Red Channels makes in regards to the Tradcon effeminate position. Every time Pearl, for instance, asks Trent about, example, can a man tell his wife to lose weight? Can a man tell his wife to stay at a certain weight? And he's like, men and women, or it's okay for men and women to ask someone to lose weight, but if it gets out of a health range, then it's obviously approaching a particular limit. And if you tell a woman to stay with a particular man, or rather, that's not what he said, to stay at a particular weight, there you go, for her whole life, that's oppressive and like that's ridiculous. No, it's not ridiculous. These women, for instance, that are in these terrible relationships, all of a sudden leave their men, and all of a sudden lose 100 pounds and are in the best shape of their life. Why didn't they do that in the fucking relationship when they had someone covering them and helping them, when they would have extra time to do this in the first place? Now they've dedicated their life, now that they know that they're on their market and they need someone to pick them, rather than, oh, this person's stuck with me. So why can't men impose that standard in the relationship? And just like Red Channel says, I'm the same way. I'm not against being with an overweight woman if she holds it well and she has a pretty face and she's submissive and obedient and willing to get on my program to get strong. You don't have to be fucking skinny. I don't like skinny women. And I don't want women to think that being a certain shape makes you unhealthy, but being a certain weight for your age category and weight and height, being beyond that is unhealthy. Okay. And people who have cancer, the number one correlative factor in being able to survive such a condition is muscle mass. The amount of muscle you have on your body, that directly contributes to your chances of surviving cancer. Okay? Imagine what it means for everything else in your life. So not only, for me, is the standard of you need to go to the gym, you need to maintain a certain weight. It's not like, oh, you need to maintain this weight where you're skinny or you're super, well, like, I want you to be fit, okay? And you should want to be fit for me and our children and our future. You should want to be a weight that I can carry you. You know what I'm saying? Most women, 78% of women are overweight. I think 38% of those women are obese. Most of this country is in a serious health issue, and this guy can't even say that a man can tell his wife what to fucking do. That's traditional conservatism for you today. It's just repackaged egalitarian feminism, which is bullshit and against the Bible, which the traditional conservative is basing its entire worldview on. He's an apologetics channel, for God's sake, Trent Horn. And he's appealing to the Bible, which literally says that the man needs to be authority over the wife. We've discussed it many times, whether it be having to do with the contract, whether it be having the authority to divorce, whether it's the authority to accuse her of misconduct, whether it's his ability, I said, to break contracts that she already made, whether it's before him or not in his presence. He could say, hey, no, don't, she's my wife, this contract's over, she is with me now, so I get to make and dictate what is going on in her life. We are one. Her life is mine now. And so it also says in the New Testament, if we want to go New Testament, that the man is the head of the woman, and the woman should submit in all things to the man. And it says multiple times to, even if he is a non-believer, to submit to him, even if he's a non-believer, because you may be able to convert him with your actions. And you don't leave a non-believer, whether it's a man or a woman, a man with an unbelieving woman or a woman with an unbelieving man. You're not allowed to leave them. But if they leave, you're not bound to them because they're unbelievers. We're oath keepers here. You leave, you're not a believer anyway. We keep our oaths here. So their whole teaching of the Bible, I permit a woman to have authority over man. Women should be silent in church. The man is the head. Respect your husband. Submit to your husband. While it says love your wives, it's like women and men are different. Women want love. Men want respect. Respect is love for men. Obedience and submission is love for men. Why do you think God asked us to obey his commandments? Listen and obey, Israel. If you love me, keep my commandments, because that would show me love. And we have these tradcons who are like, you can't tell that's abusive, telling your wife to do anything. What? You're authoritative. You're the authority in the marriage. What do you mean you can't tell her that? Why? According to who? Who says that? Because you have complete authority, and she is supposed to submit to everything. If he fucking tells her to fucking say a certain fucking wait, that's his prerogative as the leader in that relationship. He's the one that has to fucking die for her. What is he getting in return? Men are expected to protect, provide. The same said verse that allows polygamy, Exodus 21:10, is the same one that gives all the duties of marriage. Clothe her, feed her, and fuck her, or conjugal rights or sexual rights. And instead of understanding that men are expected to do all these things and also give her the duty and fucking provide and die if needed, what are the men getting out of this? And you say, oh, well, if you're not married, that could happen too. So fucking what? Thank you, Red Channels, for pointing this out. So fucking what? That's like that's the worst argument you can make. If you get married, then you are literally signing all the rights that you may have had by not getting married away to the government to make you even more vulnerable to being a victim. What the fuck? He's like, oh, well, if a woman's good to fuck, then it's good to marry. No, that's not how the fucking world works. They are fucking 304s everywhere, and men are willing to throw it down. See, you're so removed from the fucking real world because you're married, and you're not in the real world where people are not paying it. Like, she's not even arguing from a biblical standpoint, but I'll argue from a biblical standpoint. People need to get married young. And this guy is saying to people that that the man can't even have any authority. Why would the man get married then? Like, when does the man get anything in return? Oh, well, he gets a wife and a mother. Well, she could be a mother without the wife title. And what does he get with her being a wife? Women can't cook. Women don't submit. Men don't obey. So what is it exactly that they're getting? You need to make a reason. And the biblical institution of marriage isn't what you're arguing for or from. What you're arguing for is this 1950s agenda that is nowhere even near the standard that we have in the Bible, that has already been chipped away for thousands of years. I mean, what do you think all the prophets are telling the people to do by when he says, they repent, turn back to the ways, turn from your wicked ways? Each and every prophet is saying, all the way up to Jesus Christ himself. I wonder why. Because they're not living up to the standard. They add to the standard. They subtract to the standard. They say, oh, make sure you wash your hands. When the fuck does it say it in the Bible? It doesn't. It's just some rule that arbitrary that they brought up. And now we have arbitrary rules from this this guy who says you gotta do it. Why? What's the argument? Substantiate your claim. Why is that good? That was his whole argument. That's what they're arguing. Is modern marriage good for men in the West today? And he didn't prove shit. So I'm going to try and conclude here. Once again, go watch Red Channel's video that's linked in the description. Check that out. Full breakdown there. I touched on some of the main points that he touched on. We look at Tradcons today, and it has just become so effeminate. Just like the church has become so effeminate and cuctianity. It's literally cucked. Where Catholics, for instance, are so opposed to divorce, despite God himself making the law allowing divorce, and himself saying that he divorces Israel in Jeremiah 3, verses 8 through 10, right? Okay, so he does something that he's definitely against. So either Jesus is a false prophet, or you're reading what he's saying wrong, which most definitely you're reading what he's saying wrong, because the question is, can I put away my wife for any reason? And Jesus is like, this wasn't like this in the beginning, but Moses allowed this because of your hardness of hearts. Not that he didn't allow, like God didn't allow the law of divorce. He made the law. The law of divorce is in the middle of the multi-chapter representation of the law from God. Okay, and then God participates in it. Same thing with polygamy. God then says, allows it in the law, and then identifies as a polygamist in, say, Ezekiel 23, Jeremiah 3, 8 through 10, right there. He actually at least talking about being married to Judah and Israel and divorces Israel, as well as Jeremiah 31, verse 31 through 33. See, this is something that's underlying all of the modern issues of the church, so-called, the ecclesia, the body of Christ, where even like adultery, he's holding men and women to the same standard. And I'm sure he believes that Matthew 5 is talking about lusting after any woman as opposed to lusting after another man's wife, gyneca, especially wife, according to Strong's, which is exactly the same word it used talking about divorce and wives. The same word, gyneca, but for some reason it's just translated there as woman, making it very, very broad. I wonder why they did that. Because adultery is attached to a woman breaking wedlock. According to the Hebrew word na'af, which is do not commit adultery, na'af, woman breaking wedlock. As well as in Deuteronomy 2:2, Leviticus, and Deuteronomy, I forget the particular verses off the top of my head at the moment. Let me see if I can find them. Leviticus 20:10 and 18:20 and Deuteronomy 2:2 all are describing scenarios where the woman is breaking wedlock. Okay, it never says a man breaking wedlock is adultery. Otherwise, that would be a conflicting law to Exodus 21:10, which allows a man to take another wife. If he takes another wife, he must not diminish the clothing, food, or sexual rights of the first wife. That means he has to continually feed, have sex with, and clothe his first wife, while additionally giving these rights to the next wife as well. Okay? You're not allowed to just be serial monogamous, which was the issue that Jesus is talking about divorce, while we're talking about this discussion. And the Pharisees would divorce or put away women, not even give them the certificate of divorce, and then hop to the next one, and then hop to the next one, and then hop to the next one, instead of being righteous and taking the multiple women and covering them. These are all just like underlying issues to this whole treating men and women to the same standard. The Bible does not have the same standard for men and women. Women classically are expected to be virgins entering a marriage. It's not the same for a man, because a man can have multiple wives, but also because it's not about the virginity of the man that is important. It's the virginity of the woman, this womb, for many, many reasons. And the Red Pill community will talk about this in many videos that I don't have time, because I don't want to get this too long. Overall, the whole Trent Horn thing, I love his video there. He did a video about faith, discussing the Greek word piste, which is more like faithfulness than it is faith, but discussing what faith is. It's more of not just this philosophical belief, but in action. And that is going into my study discussing the Hebraic and Greek mindset. We've discussed this many times before, and I don't have time to go into this one because I want to make sure I highlight that this video from Red Channels is great, and Pearl has been doing some great work discussing all of these things. I'll try to throw some links into the description. Let me just make sure that I've, in my mind, concluded everything, and then say goodbye. So, my video about divorce is a part of that 10-part series with Michael J. Knowles and Pearl breakdown of, Michael J. Knowles proves Christianity. And I've discussed many times the difference between the Greek and Hebrew mindset, the Greek being a more noun-based and Hebrew language being more action-based, and things like faith being actions. That is the undergirding of what is supposed to be happening in terms of our belief system, our faith, as it were, where it's supposed to be underpinned by actions that line up with the scripture and reflect and emulate the values and ethics therein. And modern Christian women are not doing that. And if they aren't doing it, the secular women definitely aren't doing it. Okay? They definitely aren't being submissive and being a Proverbs 31 woman. They're a Proverbs was it verse, is it Proverbs 7:9 or something like that? They're the woman that you don't want to live under the roof of. You rather live on the corner of a roof than live under a roof with her. And they're the Jezebel spirit, to put it lightly, of this rebellious one, to lead men, manipulate men, selectively submissive. These are all things that I actually just discussed on my first day biblical discussion, episode 7. So check that out. And also just check out the videos on this channel. If you're liking this content, this is all building to go somewhere. You can support, once again, in the description below. Actually, I didn't plug anything in this video. So if you want to support, go to the description below. I've got a Ko-Fi. I've got the subscribe star. We're starting a community. Right now, it's just like $5 to help. But eventually we're going to have larger tiers when we are moving toward a closer phase of starting a physical community. We're still building. We hit 100. But we flew, and now we're like $1.25 right now. That's been in a very short time. And the likes and views have been going up on this channel. So I appreciate everybody watching and supporting. Did I miss anything, my baby? All right, guys. I appreciate everything. Please like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you thought. If you go to that Red Channels video, let them know Arthur Fantastic from Golden Ruffian sent me. Like Golden Ruffian, you can now tag channels in your comments. Sent me here. I would love to do, like, I don't know, a live stream or like even an interview with that guy. That video, absolutely. I was like, I'm subscribing. And I think that if you like this type of content, and you're into the Red Pill, you'll definitely like his content. So support some smaller content creators. Thank you to my wife for always sticking up with my fucking rants, and she actually gives me a lot of counsel. So I trust my wife. She does such a great job, and I just want to say I love you. Thank you for being there. Glad you're here. Resident Evil 5. If anybody knows what's going on there. And yeah, stay up, stay ready, stay vigilant, stay locked and loaded. Shalom, shalom, peace, and love y'all. Thank you.